Hey everyone, today I'm taking you on an exciting journey into the world of Slavic myths and legends. I will tell you about creatures that emerge from ancient tales, appearing from the misty waters and deep forests. Behold the mysterious, beautiful, yet dangerous Rusalka. Who were these extraordinary beings? What was it like to encounter them, and how could one escape with their life? We'll cover all of this in today's episode. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Who were Rusalki, the enigmatic spirits of Slavic nature? Rusalka, also known as Boginka or Brzeginka, was a central figure in Slavic mythology, an extraordinary being both fascinating and terrifying. Though commonly thought of as water spirits, Rusalki lived in a variety of places. They could be found not only by rivers and lakes, but also in dense forests and grain fields. Based on their habitat, we can distinguish water, field, and forest Rusalki. Described as strikingly beautiful, Rusalki were slender, graceful, and had captivating black eyes, full of life and mystery. Their long hair, often adorned with flowers, only enhanced their allure, but their charm wasn't innocent. It was a tool to ensnare the hearts of their victims. Typically young men who couldn't resist their hypnotic gaze or mesmerizing voice. Rusalka's beauty was deadly. She would seduce men, pulling them into the world of danger and decapitation. What seemed like an enchanting encounter often ended in tragedy. The Rusalki were known to exhaust men in endless dances or challenge them with riddles. Failure to solve them could lead to a fatal outcome. We'll explore more of these deadly encounters in the following chapters. Chapter 2. Riddles and Dance, the deadly games of Rusalki. In Slavic folklore, Rusalki were famous for their love of riddles and their cunning nature. Once they seduced a man, they would often challenge him with a tricky puzzle. The stakes were high, losing meant death, and the riddles they posed were difficult, designed to confuse and trap their victims. However, the Rusalki also had another, even more dangerous game, the endless dance. Once a man began to dance with a Rusalka, he couldn't stop. The dance would continue until the man collapsed from exhaustion and died. This deadly waltz was only one of the most common ways Rusalki claimed their victims. But there were ways to outsmart a Rusalka. If a man could turn the tables and pose a riddle she couldn't answer, or solve the riddle she posed, he could save his life. In some stories, if a man managed to outwit a Rusalka, he could only even marry her. These stories offered hope, but the odds were rarely in the man's favor. Chapter 3. Changeling Children, the darker side of Rusalki. Although Rusalki were often depicted as beautiful and seductive, they also had a darker, more sinister aspect. In some Slavic legends, Boginki and Rusalki were said to give birth to ugly, deformed children. These children were often swapped with human babies in what we know as changeling lore. According to these tales, Rusalki would steal healthy human infants and leave their own monstrous offspring behind, referred to as changelings. This belief was used to explain birth defects or disabilities in children. As people thought, these children had been replaced by the offspring of supernatural beings. Many folk rituals were created in attempts to reverse this exchange. Chapter 4. How one became a Rusalka. Tragic stories of love and death. So, how did a girl become a Rusalka? In Slavic beliefs, young women who died tragically were often transformed into these supernatural beings. Most commonly, these were girls who had committed suicide, often by drowning due to unrequited love. Others became Rusalki after dying just before or shortly after their wedding day. These tragic souls, unable to find peace in death, wandered the earth as Rusalki, forever linked to water, love and death. Their eternal sorrow and unresolved pain made them dangerous spirits, often targeting young men who sought adventure or romance near rivers or deep in the woods. Chapter 5. Green Week, the festival of Rusalki and protective rituals. One of the most important celebrations associated with Rusalki was Green Week or Pentecost. During this time, it was believed that Rusalki would leave their watery or forest dwellings and roam to land, often tormenting humans. They would haunt travelers, hanging from tree branches by their long green hair, and their laughter, said to be worse than the devil cackle, could drive people mad or even kill them. However, people found ways to protect themselves from the Rusalki's wrath. Bonfires were lit, people celebrated, and they would avoid forests to stay out of the Rusalki's path. Just like during the Nights of Kupala, wreaths were floated on the water as offering, symbolizing a request for protection from the Rusalki dangerous antics. To further appease these spirits, people would offer small sacrifices like pieces of cloth or bread, hoping to earn the favor or at least avoid the vengeance of the Rusalki during the holiday season. And there you have it, the mysterious Rusalki of Slavic mythology. These enigmatic figures were full of contradictions. On the one hand, beautiful and captivating, on the other, deadly and fearsome. Let me know in the comments what you think about these mythical creatures. Would you want to encounter a Rusalka today? Or maybe you have suggestions for other Slavic mythology topics you would like to see covered in future episodes? Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated. See you in the next one.